In this video, I will explain various research methods in cognitive psychology. What is cognitive psychology? Cognitive psychology is the study of how people perceive, learn, remember, and think about information. A cognitive psychologist might study how people perceive various shapes, why they remember some facts but forget others, or how they learn language. Research methods in cognitive psychology. What is the goal of research in cognitive psychology? The goal of research in cognitive psychology include data gathering, data analysis, theory development, hypothesis formulation, hypothesis testing. Distinctive research method. Cognitive psychologists use various methods to explore how humans think. First method is laboratory or other controlled experiments. Second method, psychobiological research. Third, self-reports, case studies, naturalistic observation. Fourth, computer simulations and artificial intelligence. First one, experiments on human behavior. In controlled experimental designs, an experimenter conducts research in a laboratory setting. The experimenter controls as many aspects of the experimental situations as possible. There are basically two kinds of variables in any given experiment. First one is independent variables and second one dependent variables. In implementing experimental method, the experimenter must use a representative and random sample of the population of interest. He or she must also exert control over the experimental conditions. If those requirements for the experimental methods are fulfilled, the experimenter may be able to infer probable causality. This influence is of the effects of independent variable, that is the treatment, on the dependent variable, the outcome for the given population. Next method, psychobiological research. Through psychobiological research, investigators study the relationship between cognitive performance and cerebral events and situations. The various specific techniques used in the psychobiological research generally fall into three categories. The first category is of techniques for studying an individual's brain post-mortem, relating the individual's cognitive function prior to death to observable features of the brain. The second category is techniques for studying images showing structures of or activities in the brain of an individual who is known to have a particular cognitive deficit. The third is techniques for obtaining information about the cerebral processes during the normal performance of a cognitive activity, example, by using brain imaging techniques. Next research method, self-reports, case studies, and naturalistic observations. To obtain richly textured information about how particular individuals think in a broad range of contexts, researchers may use different methods. These methods are also useful to generate descriptions of rare events or processes that we have no other way to measure. Self-report is an individual's own account of cognitive processes. Case study is in-depth study of individuals. Naturalistic observations are detailed studies of cognitive performance in everyday situations and no laboratory contexts. Next research method, computer simulations and artificial intelligence. Digital computers played a fundamental role in the emergence of the study of cognitive psychology. One kind of influence is indirect, though model of human cognition based on models of how computers process information. In computer simulations, researchers program computers to imitate a given human function or process. Some researchers even have attempted to create computer models of the entire cognitive architecture of the human mind. Cognitive psychologists often broaden and deepen their understanding of cognition through research in cognitive science. Cognitive science is a cross-disciplinary field that uses ideas and methods from cognitive psychology, psychobiology, artificial intelligence, philosophy, linguistics, and anthropology. Cognitive psychologists use these ideas and methods to focus on the study of how humans acquire and use knowledge. They also work in collaboration with the cognitive psychology, other psychologists such as social psychologists in the field of social cognition, psychologists who study motivation and emotion, and engineering psychologists who study human machine interactions.